Have you ever heard something scratching inside your walls while you were alone in bed at 3:03 a.m.? Because I did. And what I found hidden in the basement still haunts me to this day. This is the story of how I accidentally unleashed something that was never meant to be found. 1. The thing in the walls. I never believed in ghosts. Not until I moved into that godforsaken house in the woods. An old 2-story Victorian monstrosity that creaked and groaned like it was alive. I'd inherited it from an uncle I never knew existed. No one in the family spoke of him, and I never asked why. I wish I had. I moved in on a cold October afternoon. The leaves were turning, and the wind howled through the branches like something mourning. The house sat half-sunken into the hill, surrounded by gnarled trees that had grown so close they nearly clawed at the windows. At first, it was just the usual old house noises. Pipes rattling, wind whistling, the occasional creak of old wood. I chalked it up to age and ignored it. But then the noises started coming from inside the walls. It began at night, soft scratching like tiny fingers brushing against the inside of the plaster. I thought it was mice. I bought traps. Nothing. No droppings, no signs of nests. Just scratching. Sometimes it would stop when I got out of bed. Other times it kept going, louder until it was almost deafening. Then I started hearing the voices. Faint at first, like whispers carried on the wind. My name, over and over. Daniel. Daniel. It wasn't just once. It was every night, always around 3:03 a.m. I would wake up sweating, heart racing, the whispering echoing inside my skull. I searched the attic, the basement, even opened the walls. Nothing. No raccoons, no birds. Nothing but darkness and dust. One night, I decided to record the sounds. I set my phone on the nightstand, hit record, and tried to sleep. The next morning I listened. It started with silence. Then came the scratching, faint, distant, then the whispering. Daniel. And then something new. A guttural voice, low and rasping, like wind through broken teeth. You don't belong here. I dropped the phone. My hands were shaking. I moved out that day, booked a motel, and called a priest. Father Monroe was in his 70s, half-blind, and smelled like smoke and incense. He agreed to visit the house with me. The moment he stepped through the door, he went pale. This place, it's not empty, he said. We went room by room. He muttered prayers under his breath, sprinkling holy water, clutching a worn crucifix. When we got to the basement, he stopped. Did you ever dig here? He asked. No, why? He pointed to the far wall. It's hollow. We moved some shelves and found an old door hidden behind a false wall. It was padlocked and covered in strange carvings, symbols I didn't recognize. He made the sign of the cross and told me to stand back. He broke the lock, slowly opened the door, and recoiled. Behind it was a narrow stairway leading deeper underground. The air was thick and freezing. We descended, flashlight beams trembling. At the bottom, we found a small room, barely tall enough to stand in. On the walls were deep gouges, scratch marks like something had tried to claw its way out. In the center of the room was a crude circle drawn in dried blood, with something in the middle. Something wrapped in cloth. It looked human. Before I could move, the door above us slammed shut. Then we heard it, the voice again, right behind us. He let me out. The flashlight died. I screamed. Father Monroe began chanting louder, voice shaking. I felt something rush past me, cold, angry, ancient, something that had waited too long in the dark. I don't remember how we got out. I woke up in the woods, scratched and freezing. The house burned that night. No one knows how. They never found Father Monroe. I tried to move on, tried to forget. But some nights, I still hear the whispering in the walls of every place I go. And now, at 3:03 a.m., I don't sleep anymore, because I know. It followed me. I moved. I changed cities. I even burned the house down. But every night, at 3:03 a.m., I still hear it. The scratching, the whispering, it never left. And if you're listening to this, maybe now it knows about you too. Be careful tonight. Subscribe before it finds you.